Hi, my name is Smita Suresh and I am a holistic nutritionist, and I want to talk to you about Welltech gluten-free atta. And this product is amazing. I have used it before. I have baked my son's birthday cake, and it can also be used to bake cookies and bread and pretty much anything that you would use wheat for. And the ingredients of this, why it is called gluten free, is because it does not have wheat or any wheat products, and it wasn't made in a facility which made wheat. It is absolutely gluten free. It's made of foxtail millet flour. In Kannada that's navane, and in Tamil it's called thinai. Okay, so the major ingredient, like 99%, is foxtail millet flour with a little bit of food gum. Now that might sound scary because usually when I look at the ingredient list and I see food gum, I wonder what that is. But here it is guar gum. Guar gum is the natural extract from guar, and it's a safe additive. Okay, and it's completely natural. And the other ingredient is salt. Now they've written only salt, but actually it's unprocessed, a non-iodized salt, which is the best kind of salt to use. I mean, you would not want to mess up your health with chemical salt, which is freely available everywhere for a cheaper price. But this kind of salt is available usually in organic stores. So they have made this with the best ingredients, and I really want to talk to you a bit about avoiding wheat, because that's something that I have done once I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, and on the advice of my homeopath, I cut out wheat from my diet, and I immediately saw that bloating and other gastric issues went away. And I also saw that my immunity was much stronger without wheat at all in my diet. And things like this help people who suffer from autoimmune conditions and diabetes, which are conditions in which avoiding wheat is optimal. And so this is the product, and let's get started. I want to show you a technique that I use at home to make soft chapatis out of millet flour. Okay. Hi. So I have the Welltech stevia flour, gluten-free flour, and let me just show that to you real clearly. And then I have a pot right here. Just need a medium-sized pot, and I have two exact same tumblers, one filled with water and one absolutely dry. Okay, now the water goes into the pot, and I usually add salt if I'm making the chapati with any other millet flour, but with this, since there's already salt present, I will not be adding salt. So now I add a cup of millet flour to this and keep aside. Okay, so I have a cup there. Okay, and literally you can take any kind of tumbler that you want. You can use your own measurement, how much ever it will take for you to usually get how many ever chapatis you will need. And the measurements are more or less like normal chapatis. Okay, so I'm just switching this on, and so we are heating the water. Now my secret is that I usually use a little less water than is required, little less than the millet. Okay, so we're going to add this shortly once it heats up. So the water is now hot, and we are going to add the flour into the water. Now we grip and stir, and you don't need to stir too much, just until the water and the flour are mixed. Now this method of cooking is called autolysis. So I'm just going to switch it off and give you a glimpse of the bowl. But before I do that, I just want to say that this method of preparing dough to roll chapatis is called autolysis. And this was, I found out about this through a channel on YouTube called OPOS, and its creator is Mr. Ramakrishnan. And I've used this process in all of my chapati making, and even if you're from Karnataka and you know about akki roti, ragi roti, this is the process that I use. And so here we go, this is what it looks like. And now I'm going to pour it into a plate to cool down because it's done. And now all I need to do is pour it into a plate and knead it. So now I have it in the plate and I'm going to gently knead that until it becomes soft and compact. There we go. So now it's rolled into a soft dough, and I didn't do too much to it because according to the autolysis method, you're not supposed to knead it too much because the linkages have already been formed. So I didn't knead it too much, and I'm just going to put a little bit of oil, and then once I've put the oil, I will just put a few drops of oil into my hand like so, and make sure that the outside of the dough is a little bit oily. Now you may be wondering, why is a nutritionist talking about oil? But I actually have no inhibitions about using cold pressed organic oil, and although you should use everything in moderation, if you use cold pressed organic oils, these are actually healing and safe for human consumption as opposed to processed oils. Okay, so there we have it. Now let's go on to making the chapatis. So there we go. I made 2 dough balls. Well, actually you can make around 4 chapatis from this, but I chose to just make 2 for the purpose of this video. Okay, so I made dough balls and then I flattened them, and now we're going to roll out the chapatis. So in our house, we make this directly on the counter because our counter is spotlessly clean, and I'm just going to roll it out like so. And you know, the edges are going to be a little uneven, maybe even rough. It may not look like a chapati. You could certainly press it into a round shape. So the only thing is, the taste is the proof. We're not trying to mimic the taste of chapati, rather we're trying to get an absolutely healthy chapati made from millet flour without any gluten, that's absolutely safe for us to eat, and that's our objective. So we've got our flame on, we've got the tawa, and this is an absolutely soft and flexible dough. It has come out so well because of the guar gum and the millet combined. So the guar gum imparts the binding to the dough. Lightly wait for it to lightly roast on one side, and then flip it over. And everybody's process is different at home. And what we do is we put a little oil, but you don't need to. You can make this without any oil at all. But again, since we use cold pressed organic oils, I see no harm in adding it. Okay, right? A little oil for this end. flip it over again. So when we added the atta to the boiling water, that actually partially cooked the dough. So then what we're doing is just lightly roasting it, and you will see that this comes out absolutely soft. So let's finish this up. Few drops of oil. Again, flip it over. It's going to roast completely on that side. We flip it over again. Well, it puffed up a little. Hi. So again, this is the chapati made from Well-Tech company's gluten-free atta, and this is their product again, and the main ingredient of which is foxtail millet flour. And basically my advice as a nutritionist is to reduce your consumption of wheat. It is not natural. Our grandparents, our great grandparents, their grandparents grew up consuming mainly these earthy millets. In fact, white rice was not seen 80 years ago. It was hand pounded rice and nothing refined. So you need the whole grain, okay? But wheat is a crop which has been intensively sprayed, hybridized, manipulated, and so much so that the proteins in wheat start to mimic our own body proteins, and therefore the immune system, which recognizes the wheat proteins as different, starts to recognize our body's proteins as different, as not self. So this also triggers autoimmunity, other chronic diseases, inflammation, and so people suffering from diabetes, especially any autoimmune conditions, thyroid conditions, would do very well to avoid wheat. Again, I'm Smita Suresh. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and till next time, thank you.